Turning to a story now you'll only see here on CBC News Toronto. It involves one of the world's most dangerous men and a troubling discovery at some local Islamic bookstores. Our John Lancaster has this exclusive CBC News investigation. John?
Anwar Awlaki was born and raised in the U.S., but is now one of its fiercest enemies. Despite that, we found out that his controversial preachings are bestsellers in some Toronto bookstores.
لا تشاور أحدا في قتل الأمريكان.
Just this week, he called Westerners the enemy, the army of Satan.
لا يحتاج إلى استخارة.
And Muslims should kill them. Anwar Awlaki's been spreading his anti-American message for years.
America cannot and will not win.
And now this. Our CBC News cameras discovered his audio lectures readily available in 3 prominent Islamic bookstores around Toronto.
Cease and desist immediately.
You may remember Mubin Sheikh. He's the government informant who exposed the Toronto 18 terror cell. He says those young would-be terrorists were motivated to strike after studying Awlaki's preachings.
That anybody would make the argument that to call for killing innocent people wherever you see them is somehow Islamic, I'm sorry, is extremely offensive to me.
On the internet, YouTube has already pulled hundreds of Awlaki's rants from its site, but more keep popping up. He's been linked to recent terror attacks in the U.S., like the Fort Hood shootings, the Times Square bombing, and the failed attempt to bring down a U.S. airliner last Christmas.
I bluntly tell them that it's best to avoid this type of material.
Toronto Imam Yusuf discourages his students from listening to anything Awlaki preaches. He's worried the message could lead to radicalization.
My suggestion to all the stores in our city is, take the side of caution. Remove those products from the shelves and save yourselves from a lot of controversy and a potential element where our youth might be listening to that and then get into some radical ideologies which are totally inappropriate.
I spoke to the owner of one of those bookstores. He says not only is that material bestsellers, but so far no one's complained about it. As for intelligence authorities, they tell CBC News today that they're concerned about Awlaki's rising influence they now compare to Osama bin Laden's. Reporting live, I'm John Lancaster.
Thank you, John. Well, we will show you tonight the video sparking